you're just getting into shooting and carrying it outside the waistband on strong side is where you're comfortable now, great. And then if you decide, okay, now I want to carry this every day and carry inside the waistband or appendix carry, again, you don't have to go buy another holster.
Yeah.
You can just convert that one over.
What's up, Team G Code? It's your Range 5 podcast host, Greg Jones, also your friendly neighborhood chief operating officer today. I have the pleasure of having one of my friends and employees of HK USA, James, that drove all the way up from Georgia to lovely Burgall, North Carolina, and he graced us with more HK weapons than I've ever seen before, and even more than we have here at the store. James, you want to give a quick introduction to yourself before we start talking about the neat HK and G-Code products we have here today?
Sure. I am the business development manager with H&K and also oversee our training division. And so we manage all of the current products as well as all the future products that we are developing at the same time. And the outreach with our industry partners, especially a company like G-Code that does such an amazing set of holsters and magazine pouches and other accessories for the firearms line. This is something that we want to have a more active role in as we move forward. I mean, obviously, if you're going to buy the HK firearm, the next thing you're going to ask is, okay, what's the right holster? What's the right accessories that go with it that are purpose designed for our firearms? So I figured this is a great opportunity for us to educate your fan base on what you guys have in the many different variants that work with our firearms.
James is being nice. He's a certified HK armor. I've taken some of his HK training classes. He does a lot of HK Pro events. So to say that James knows the product line is probably an understatement. We also go way back. We went to college together, Marine Corps together. He's an infantry officer and a reconnaissance officer. So James has a wealth of experience, and we're super happy and proud to be partnered with HK. Obviously, high quality product, and we think a high quality G-Code holster and mag carrier matches. And actually, for some even more history, James has been a user of G-Code products long before I even knew about the company, and James was one of the first people I called when this job opportunity was open, and he basically told me to jump on it, and I did, and so we're here today, still partners in crime, yeah. and just in a different uniform, I guess. So we're super glad to have you. And where we're going to run this is we're just going to let James talk through some of the HK weapons that he has, and when it comes to a G-Code product, I'll jump in. But as you can see, we've got everything from PCC placard, which is a new product that's just coming out. So by the time you see the podcast, that'll be on our web store, and we'll talk about historic lines that G-Code's had for HK products for a long time. And then we'll finish with a special makeup unit, is what we're calling it, that'll be available here in the near future, only on the HK website. So James, why don't you walk us through the lovely option of firearms that you have?
Sure. I think for most guys, fan base wise from H&K, the one that probably started the obsession for guys would be the USP series. These guns have been around now for over 30 years, and one of the mainstays in our collection and for our fan base. I have here a USP 9mm, the full-size model, but we also offer them in compacts and several of the other specialty models that have different barrel and slide lengths as well, in a multiple array of caliber options. So still a very popular weapon, great for a duty use weapon, great for home defense, concealed carry aspects, and one that for years I've been running in G-Code holsters. And one of the things that I've liked most about G-Code is the ability to have different options for how you might want to carry. This model, you can see that Greg will hold up. What I love about it is the RTI system. When I use this for range training, the ability to adapt it to multiple different positions on which position I want to carry the weapon in rapid form, or just to remove it completely. Go slick, go back into an instructor role where I might be talking, and then go right back on to clipping it right in place and going back out on the range has always made that a great system for me.
This is our OSH holster, as James mentioned. It does come with RTI attachments, again, to get that quick release off your belt. It also does come with a paddle holster, OWB fashion. That is another version of the OSH with paddle and then your RTI option. This is a level 1 retention holster. Obviously, you see it comes in multiple options, but our level 1 retention is pretty significant. And I don't think that you would ever do it, but if you wanted to crank that down so you could almost not get the pistol out, you can get that much retention on it. And certainly, can you give me a hand in there? Yeah, one of the things, thank you. One of the things that we always do when we test foot is be able to do that. If you can turn the holster upside down with the pistol in it, then you know that you have good level 1 retention. So these are available in multiple colors, also with multiple as mentioned, attachment options.
Yeah, and I've always also been a big fan of your paddle system. The ability to have something that I can pop right on in position and very easily pop right on again without having to take my belt apart. This makes it a great kind of conceal carry, everyday carry type thing, or just go into the range system. Very easy, very comfortable. And for me, we'll talk about it again as we get to some of the other holsters. You know, I appreciate the fact that I'm lazy by nature, and if something is cumbersome, if something is uncomfortable, then I'm just not going to carry it. And what good is having a firearm if you don't have it when you need it? So your paddle system has always really impressed me, from the ability to maintain control of the weapon like I'd want to, but also make it easy to carry every day. And the fact that you can adjust the cant on these for different angles is also another great benefit.
Yeah, appreciate it. And one of the things you can't see on camera, which you can check it out on our website, maybe you could see it a little bit, is right there, there's ridges, so it'll actually hold onto the belt. So when you go to draw the holster, you're not pulling draw the handgun, the holster and the handgun aren't coming out at the same time, which that's always not what you want. So the holster will stay where it's supposed to be, and the handgun can go where it's supposed to be as well.
Yep. And those OSH holsters, again, have been in the catalog for years and years. I know I've had mine since like 2014 timeframe on several of the guns. We showcased it for the USP series. It's also available for your P2000 series pistols, your P30 series pistols, HK45 series pistols there on the other side of the table. So any of your hammer-fired H&Ks, you'll be able to carry those over, as well as for your VP9s. I don't have the VP9 OSH holster. My specific one's actually in the other room right now that I've had since I think 2014 when the gun first came out. Is also, they offer them in a light compatible model. So mine has the X300 light on the VP9 holster, and then you can see they're also available with an extra level of retention if you needed to have a bailing on top, as well as the level 1. You have that capability with your RTI attachments, and I don't know how well this will show on the close-up there, but you can even get them in different patterns on the outside. So the models we have are there, specific colors of the Kydex, but I'm a big fan of the tactical fuzz on the ends, and they make them in different colors, whether you want black or gray or multicam. This one's got kind of a basket weave color if you're more from a law enforcement focus, but always been a big fan of the OSH series, and I'm glad to see that those continue.
Yep, and this is specifically our XSR. Again, level 2, standard level 1 retention. And then as James pointed out, level 2 right there. And again, does attach with the RTI system. We recently had, the podcast isn't out yet, we recently had a retired Marine CW05 that found the company in 1996. And he's had basically his level 2, it might not exactly be an XSR, but the level 2 retention system similar, and he said that he's had about 1 million actuations on that, and it has not failed. So that is a good holster. That's, you know, my competition rig. I have an XSR. It is a great little duty holster, and obviously optics ready, ready for an RTI. Yeah, and available lots of different options. What optics do you have on this? That's pretty nice.
So that's our VP9 A1 F. This is one of our new models that we released here earlier this year, the upgrade to the original VP9 series. This specific model comes with our optics equipped variant. It uses the HoloSun SCS package. So this is a dot that actually sits lower without the use of a mounting plate that allows you to co-witness the standard height sights through the base of the optics. So you can now purchase the VP9 series as either the standard optics ready pistol that'll come with the optics plate and a tritium front sight and blacked out rear, or you get the optics equipped model, which comes already with the optic mounted and a blacked out front sight.
I haven't seen this one yet. That's awesome. So basically what you're telling me is this comes out of the box, HoloSun. I like a green dot. I got astigmatisms, so red doesn't help me out. Yep, and co-witness. So this thing is duty ready, combat ready, out of the box, and then obviously HoloSun. I don't know this specific one, but they usually advertise about a 20,000 hour battery life. I've read reviews where people actually keep the light on, keep it in the safe, and once on the weekend, bring it out, make sure it's safe, clear condition for, and just let the battery charge. So you definitely can't beat that. An HK VP9F, HoloSun optics ready, out of the box, co-witness sights. All you need is a G-code holster, but that is a nice handgun.
And that specifically is their SCS or solar charging system. So it actually uses the ambient light to charge the system, so you don't have to have a separate battery in there. But yes, the availability of having a green dot option is a benefit. And then some of their models as well have the ability to either have a single dot or have the ring around there. Some guys like to have that option as well.
I didn't even know I had astigmatism till I got glasses. James tells me I didn't have glasses. Then I got glasses, and the optometrist on the Marine Corps base told me that I had astigmatisms. And then I was talking to my wife, you know, mortar illumination or like the stoplights on a car. I didn't realize that there wasn't supposed to be a second hue around like more. So I was looking as company commander, looking at mortar illumination, the live fire, and I see the illumination round, and then there's like this funny hue. Same thing with sights. I literally didn't realize it, but yeah, HoloSun makes a great optic for the optics impaired people like me as well. But yeah, great gun. And what do you think? Like, I know we've talked before. I've heard you give briefs on for people that maybe don't know, what's a round count you put to that gun before you had any problems, or any of your handguns?
You know, that's the great thing about the H&K firearms is their well-known and established reputation for hard use durability. We have certain models that we've either done our own testing with or that customers have sent back to us, well over 100,000 rounds on the firearms.
100,000 rounds. So that's like you guys at HK Central at your range there, keeping actual legitimate logs like most of us probably don't do.
Yeah, endurance testing that we do internally, or that, you know, some of our brand ambassadors will go out and they'll do their own long-term durability testings. We'll bring those guns back in, take them apart, and put them through all of the same inspections. You know, your bore erosion, go no go gauges, and still just function and trucking right along.
Holding group just fine too.
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah, it's one of the things again that H&K is well known for. So a lot of times people ask, you know, why would I buy this gun or over another one? And if your end use case is that I'm just going to go to the range once or twice a year, you can buy just about any gun out there and you'll be just fine. But if you want a gun that you can trust your life on for decades and pass down to your kids, that's where the benefit of the H&K stands out.
And with all your experience, I know one of the things we've talked about prior to the podcast, but you've done in your business development role, you've done a lot of work finding optics. We'll talk about lights in a second, but finding optics and lights to give the customer the package so the optic and the light and the holster is going to give the customer the same performance as a handgun, right?
Exactly. You want to not just pair it from what you might term as on brand. But we like to give customers a better, best approach to things. We understand that not everybody has the same budget level to get the top tier of a certain product, but you want to be able to pair those as well to say, okay, well, this is the firearm that I have, and this is what my requirement is. This is what my end use case is, and what I may, provide to an individual consumer. A commercial customer might be slightly different than what I might provide to a law enforcement SWAT team. But we have those options, and we definitely want to be able to find those products that match and give an overall system capability, instead of what we've had in the past is, well, you buy the gun and then you figure out what holster works with it, what light or what laser, what optic does. Instead, now we're trying to pair those together, especially on the law enforcement and military side. As you know, we're seeing more and more of those contracts coming where they want the whole system. They don't want to have to go out in 5 different places and piece it all together. So being able to have industry partners, in this case with G-Code, that we know we can trust the product line and the quality of their overall system, is going to pair very well with our H&K firearms. And not just one firearm, but every single one owner family.
Now, we've talked about that before. You could say it's sort of a negative aspect of handgun or firearm modularity, is that it can become very confusing for a consumer. I have to have a rail key for a light. I have to have a different plate with an optic, and those are hidden costs sometimes. So obviously what HK is doing, especially when you can buy a G-Code holster from your website, you've eliminated all of that for the customer. They know they're getting the best from HK, and you're going to be able to open the box and go to the range with anything that you want. And if you're not an optic guy, you're not a light guy, HK USA still facilitated the customer experience where they can go from the box to the range, right?
Yep. And, a moment to brag on G-Code and how you do business, which for the customers, the fans that are watching this, they may not be aware. Not every holster company does it the same way. You can see examples that, we've got blue guns here on the table because, these are ones that we take to trade shows to showcase, where we might not want to bring a live firearm in. But there are some companies, and that's what they do. They go out and they buy the cheaper route, and they go and they get a blue gun for $50 versus having to pay, full price for the real gun. And that's what they're using to fit their holsters, either for the initial testing and mold of the weapon, or the quality control every time one comes off the line, go, yeah, it fits. The problem with that is, this is not the same tolerance spec as a real HK pistol. So if you're doing your 3D modeling to actually make the design of the mold for the holster, you're already off. And if you're doing your fit and finish, well, this polymer, this plastic that it's made out of, is going to wear over time. So that first through maybe 100th time, you're going to get a good solid fit, but your 1000th time, it's no longer locking up. So when we work with G-Code, we actually bring them and give them the actual weapon and let them do all their 3D modeling that they need to do to get the mold right. And then they have that weapon here on hand. So when they do their quality fit at the end, that holster is going to lock up the same as it did on the first time, as it would the 1000th time and more. And that's a big advantage to what G-Code offers than what some of the lesser quality holster companies out there have.
That's a great point. Even getting ready for the podcast, we like James said, we already have all of these handguns, but because they get test fitted every time, every single HK holster, G-Code holster for an HK that goes out the door is test fitted, as James mentioned. So over time, some of our fit and finish on the handgun, it's not, HK is a great handgun, so it's not like the fit and finish is destroyed, but for camera purposes, we wanted to show the best, most pristine HK handguns we could get, not the ones that have been tested thousands and thousands of times. Have a little patina. So James is nice enough to, again, go to Georgia, pack up a bunch of nice pristine guns and bring them up here. Okay, again, so excited with all the different options. What else do we want?
Let's talk about the mag pouches as well, because that's another thing that I've seen a lot of times. You'll find a holster and you might have that, but you don't have the correct fitting for the mag pouch to go with it. And that's a real advantage of what G-Code has done, is to create a similar family. So if you have your OSH holster and you want to have a mag pouch for it, they've designed these as well. I've been running these style since I first got into to G code. Really love again their paddle clips on these. They're reversible, so you can mount them on either side. So if I want to go outside the waistband, I can put it on one side. If I decide instead I want to carry this inside the waistband, I can just unscrew it and put the paddle clip on the other side. Again, it's adjustable for cant, either forward or backward. So if I want to have a cant for more of a speed draw here and more competition use, I can adjust that, or I can keep it straight up and down. And these are also available with your tactical fuzz, which I really prefer for inside the waistband. You've got the double mag clamps as well with the larger paddle like you have on your pistol holsters. So this again makes it very easy for me to mount my holster and my mag pouches and dismount them without having to take my belt apart. Really been a big fan of these of these mag pouches, as well as your adjustable ones, which we don't have here on the table, but that I've also been using that work great because you've got short and long length ones. So when I'm running, a VP9 mag, I can run on the short one. If I want to run, an MP5 mag, I get the longer length model. And the fact that they can adjust to different size magazines. So maybe I'm running 9mm mags one day, and then the next day I want to shove a 10mm MP5 mag in there. The adjustability on those mag pouches is pretty impressive as well.
Yeah. So GSM G-code single mag carrier also has a retention screw. It generally is standard with a lot of our Kydex products. GDM G-code double mag carrier, again, retention screw. And then obviously James is reconnaissance marine, jump dive quality. You got pretty specific about how you carried your gear, making sure that your gear wasn't going to snag with dive gear. I'm a ground pounding marine that would not have passed any of those things, nor would have tried them if given the option. But you definitely come from a background of the gear needs to be where it is and stay where it is so it doesn't get snagged. And when you land or come out of the ocean, it is where you need it to be. Should things that are not so good happen. Yeah. Okay, so mag carriers, we'll swing back into some of these in a little bit, but as you start to notice, you see some special color categories, gray Kydex on black fuzz. Those will be some things that are exclusive on the HK website here in a couple months. Okay, what else? CC9, you want to go to CC9?
Yeah, so one of our newest pistols in our line is our micro compact. We released this last year, been massively popular, and that is the CC9. As soon as this came out, we knew that we had to make sure that, again, what are we looking for? We're looking for great holsters, and as this is intended to be an everyday carry type pistol, we were expecting that we were going to need more concealed carry focused holsters. So working with G-Code, came up with several different options that they were able to do that are all minimalistic in capability, which again pair greatly with the minimalistic nature of the CC9 in itself. So the first one that I'll showcase here is their Phenom. You can see here, this one has the black tactical fuzz on it. It's got a single but wide clip. And then what do we call this here?
Moclaw.
Okay, your Moclaw here on the end, which is great. It allows when your belt positions across it to press the holster against the body line instead of having it stick out where the grip is exposed more and prints more as well. This is an excellent option if you want a very easy, to mount and dismount appendix style holster for your CC9. But I also approached them and said, hey, this is great and it's optics ready, and you offer, one for left or right-handed, but I want another level of that. And for me, on all of my firearms, I'm going to have both a red dot, but I'm also going to have a light. And so I went to G-Code and I said, hey, for The CC9, what I'm trying to pair it with is, again, a minimalistic but capable light. So we went with the XSC from Surefire as my primary optic. And I said, can you make a similar product as your Phenom, but that is light capable? And they came up with this model here.
Yeah, this is the Shadow Eclipse. And again, this will be one of the special makeup units that you'll only be able to get from the HK website. Gray Kydex, black fuzz, HK colors, and obviously your hardware is going to be red anodized aluminum.
Yep. And so the real benefit of this one, again, is the fact that it is light capable. So if you have your XSC and you have your optic of choice, you can mount it directly into it. And this one is reversible. So if you are a left or right-handed shooter, it's the same holster. You can switch it back and forth, especially maybe you carry this and you want to loan it to your brother or your wife, and they're left-handed, they can swap that around. This is my personal holster that I've been running for several months now, and I carry it every day. Been super happy with it. The major benefit of the combination of both the weapon and the holster is the fact that I'm no longer complaining about having to carry my pistol. This fits so well. It is so comfortable to carry every day that I've literally, and I'm not BSing the fans base here, there have been multiple times where I've gotten out of my vehicle and gone into walk in a store, and I kind of get surprised, like I forgot my weapon. Like in the past, the weapon or the holster has been too cumbersome. I get into my vehicle, I have to take it off, I put it somewhere in the dash or in between the seat or whatever, and then I forget to put it back on again. This has been all day comfortable. Regardless of the position that I'm in or the weather conditions or having to worry about dressing around it, I've been really, really happy with it.
I carry Shadow Eclipse as well. Sean Ryan recently did a EDC pocket dump. He carries the Eclipse holster as well. One point that I wanted to mention, and again, James is a detailed guy, so he asked us, I don't know if you can see it real well, I'll try to put it on that camera, but we're going to laser mark each one of the special makeup unit holsters that are sold off the HK website with the HK logo. So that's a nice ad for the customers. Where I went to an HK Pro event with you in Florida, and had not been to one before, and those are some dedicated fans. And so hopefully that'll be something that once you get your holster, that you'll see that and you'll enjoy it. Now for the CC9, like the other firearm we talked about, I'm assuming that HK customers will be able to buy this model from your web store, optic and light. Is that correct?
The optic equipped, just like we talked about with the VP9, is available as an option. We do not have it equipped with the light at this time. But if you do go with that light, then that is definitely the holster you want, because I'm not aware of another holster out there at this time that has a similar combination. A lot of times the holster companies, as you know, it's all about, is this business case model make sense? Can we make a lot of these holsters? They're just going to make the standard holster. They'll make an optics cut for it, and then they'll just say, well, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense because there's lots of lights out there that I can use. I'm very happy that you guys listened to my request and made one that was dedicated for this package, because that was built around what we felt from the business development team is the best optimized system for the CC9. And again, I've been really happy for the HK fans who are looking for that exclusive. Hopefully you'll appreciate too the gray interior with the black fuzz and the red. I mean, there's an obvious nod towards HK in that design. So if that's something that you really are after, then go in through our HK web shop to get that exclusive purchase on that model, or the Phenom is definitely where you're going to go.
That's going to be Phenom Stealth with fuzz on the inside and out. And just to give you credit, you spend a lot of time driving around talking to different vendors really to get this right, to just make that customer experience really just so much better out of the box. Let me see.
Let's talk about prime carry.
Okay.
Prime carry. This was another one that was exciting for me. You can see this one here in the VP9. You can see this one here in the CC9. Both of these will be available as an exclusive on the HK web shop. You can see again, similar style, gray Kydex on the inside, black tactical fuzz with the HK logo on the outside. What I really like about this is the complete modularity of the system. They are completely reversible, so if you are a left-handed shooter or right-handed shooter, you buy the same holster. You don't have to have it separately, and you can adapt this to your specific desires. So you can see the VP9 holster I'm holding here has the dual clip, which is designed to be carried inside the waistband, either appendix or over on your strong side. But it also comes in the package with the additional hardware for you to mount the paddle. So you may have one specific situation where this is my everyday carry holster and I want to carry it you know, inside the waistband, but maybe on another thing, maybe I'm taking a firearms training course and I want to have it outside the waistband instead. I can simply remove the screws, change over the hardware that comes with the package, and change back and forth. And this has been really great for my own use, but as well as when we've been teaching our classes, training courses with the pistols, it allows me to have the adaptability to the shooter. When they come to show up their class, you don't just sign up for the class, you get the firearm, everything's provided to you. So you may show up and say, hey, I'm just not comfortable carrying appendix. I can convert this holster over and give you your paddle so you can carry outside the waistband if you want to as well. So the prime carry available, as you can see here, for your CC9 as well as for your VP9 holsters.
We got to switch over battery.
I just did bring it.
Okay, and as James was mentioning, we really developed the prime carry model for retailers. So as GCO's gotten into distribution, you'll see us in Sportsman's Warehouse pretty soon. It was really designed to give the retailer one SKU, and again, just like HK's doing, enhanced customer experience. So you don't have to decide if you want an IWB or an OWB holster. Retailers don't have to carry left, right-handed, but the line has been it's so malleable that the line has sort of taken a life of its own, and we showed you that. You were like, absolutely, I want to offer that to HK customers just because it's easy. And you don't need two holsters. You don't need an IWB holster. You don't need a separate OWB holster. You got the same holster. It will come with the attachments, as James mentioned, and you know, if you want to buy two, great. If you don't want to buy two, that's fine. And you can, with a Phillips head screwdriver, very easily in a matter of 15 to 30 seconds, swap it out for whatever type of use you want to do. We have also seen a lot of folks that do range training really like that. We were actually down with you in Florida, and that exact scenario happened. Is you have HK pros, some of the guys are just, they're ready to shoot, move, and communicate and put nods on and go with lasers. And then there's people that just got into the firearms market and decided to go on the high end with HK that just really weren't ready. So the holster just let them go straight OWB and strong side OWB, and it worked out just great.
And it allows you to grow with your experience level too. So if you're just getting into shooting and carrying it outside the waistband on strong side is where you're comfortable now, great. And then if you decide, okay, now I want to carry this every day and carry inside the waistband or appendix carry, again, you don't have to go buy another holster.
Yeah.
You can just convert that one over. And the base holster that it's designed around is so good already that you don't have to feel like I'm compromising on the holster itself to get this other modular capability. And sometimes we've seen that with other companies when they try and be all things to everybody. The overall product is a lesser quality than it would be if you had a dedicated one thing or another. I don't feel that's the case at all with your system.
And that was designed exactly like that. We have some other holsters, some universal holsters where you get a great retention, but the fit is okay because it's designed for up to 150 guns. The prime carry line is designed exactly for the handgun or handgun light combo. The modularity being, as you discussed, left hand, right hand, the screw holes are the same on either side, IWB, OWB. And then James is a better former Marine than I am. I gained a little weight, so I can't do appendix carry, but I will do strong side IWB. And again, the angled clips push it away from your body, away from your body to reduce the print, and you really can just latch that onto a belt and carry it really wherever you want to.
Yeah.
Okay, so many products. Did we cover the? I think we covered most of the pistols, right?
We did. Again, the full coverage of our line from our USP series onto the P2000 series, your HK45 and HK45 compact over there. We have holsters for P30s, P30 SKs, as well as the VP9 series. And one other plug that I'll give to G-Code that they have continued to do so well is all of their holsters, you'll see that they are open here at the base. And what that allows you to do is have one holster that's designed for a specific line, let's say the P30, and that same holster is going to work with the P30 SK, the subcompact that's a little bit shorter, or the P30L long slide. It doesn't matter if the slide and barrel combination is a little bit shorter or longer, the same holster is going to work with each one of them. That carries over for the HK45 series and so on. So that's another great benefit of I can buy one holster and it's going to work with that family of H&K weapons. Whereas I've seen some other companies, if it's closed off at the end, now I've got to buy a completely different holster because I want to have one for my VP9 SK and my VP9F and my VP9 match.
That's a great point. I think, a shout out to HK is James right, is easier for us to make holsters because the profile of the handgun's the same, but the manual of arms is going to be the same. It's just the slide length is different. So, but I think that's important for customers to realize because the geometry of the handgun is similar. Yes, you can have the same holster for multiple different variants. Some companies that we work with, from one version of a number to another version of a number, you would think it's the same handgun, but the geometry is different. And one version of the handgun could be a micro, where another version of the handgun is really a medium-sized gun, and you cannot use the same holster. So HK, it's very nice to work with HK for that reason, because again, I put James in contact straight with our lead machinist, Ben, and they just nerd out on geometry, but literally it's just, okay, well, I'll just do an open-ended holster for HK, and then the HK customer doesn't have to worry because it just goes right in there. So I think that's a kudo to you guys, because it's going to translate to firearms proficiency, right? If it's just one manual arms, the weapon works the same way. Maybe my ballistics will be slightly different or accuracy slightly different with a longer frame, but I don't have to retrain myself for what is other companies would be actually a different, really almost a different handgun.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yep. Do you want to talk about the PCC placard yet?
Yeah,
So, let me intro it. So obviously one of the things that similarly to what HK has tried to do is create a system. Recently we've got, a retired, he doesn't tell everybody this, but he's a retired Green Beret Warrant officer. He also spent 4 years in the Marine Corps as a machine gunner, so it's a special place in my heart for him. And he does a great job for G-Code, and he designs a lot of our tactical gear. So G-Code has had belts, we have EDC belts, and we have the Scorpion Assaulter system, which is more your battle belt. You put pistol mags on there, rifle mags, but similarly, vendor, whether you're a private citizen that just wants to be prepared or military police contract, they want to come to one person. And they don't want to have to go to a belt vendor here, a mag carrier vendor here, a plate carrier vendor there, and then, an HRNS vendor. So we've put together an entire Assaulters line. And then one of the things that we recently did, because PCC, obviously HK's had the MP5 forever, but PCC's become a big deal, especially in the competition world. So one of the things that we did is we created a PCC placard that's available on our web store now. And we really just took a tourniquet pouch. These are actually tourniquet pouches, but they work very well for PCC mags or MP5 mags. So we're happy to offer that. And obviously I've only shot that like one time with the SEAL team when I was a lieutenant on a float. So I'm not gonna, you're the MP5 expert, so I'll let you talk about functionality of the gun and why a piece of gear like that might be right for your customers.
Yeah, this type of system just adds another capability level to things. We see guys when we teach these types of classes, if we're doing an MP5 operator course, and they show up and they've got the gun and they got the mags, but it's in their back pocket because they don't have a pouch that's designed specifically to hold that. And you may want to have more than one magazine on there. We still have, incredible amount of sales and usage, especially in the U.S. law enforcement community for the MP5 series. And those guys are going to need to have more than that. And it may not be what's on them, every day, but it's in the back of their cruiser.
Sure.
They need to be able to open that toolbox up and grab the right tool for the job and the supporting kit to go with it. So I really like the placard system to be able to say, well, I may not want to put on a whole big plate carrier body armor set, or I may have body armor underneath my shirt.
Sure.
Just because
There might be undercover or security people that always have sort of a soft body armor on. They don't need to, especially in scenarios like that, they don't need to stop, take off soft armor, put on a plate carrier, and then mess with that. They literally can just
just slide it over your head, and now look at all the capability that you've got, not just with additional magazines, but the other modular options that you can have to attach to it. This also makes a great go bag type system for the civilian. You can see here I've got the single semi-automatic SP5, our commercial variant that's been SBR'd, that built out, and this is actually my go bag type truck gun, and I carry it here with a placard set that I got from G-Code that allows me to have the mag that's on the gun, but additional magazine capacity and other necessary accessories on the weapon in a very compact format. So I can fold all of this up with already a very compact gun, and it can be in a system that looks like just a normal backpack, not, hey, that guy's got an AR-15 and this huge thing in the back.
I love North Carolina, great state. Don't fully understand open carry for those reasons, but if you are, if you're interested in concealment, this is a great product. And actually, we all, based on our background, we like to be prepared, and I never really understood like the go bag concept from a civilian perspective. We had one of our influencers, Rob Pincus, did a video on our Scorpion Assaulter system, and similarly, because a medical pouch goes on that, he was just like, it doesn't matter if you're an operator or whatever, your go bag in your house can be Scorpion Assaulter system or the PCC placard. Again, you could put med kit, cell phone, sat phone, whatever, GPS. I mean, you could put knives on here, whatever, right? And you can buy this assembled, complete with the H-harness system and the placard. The nice thing about the G-Code placard system is you have these buckles here. This can come off. You can put the H-harness somewhere else, and this will go straight onto our plate carrier. So again, a lot of options there. And again, but for tactical operators or just for the concerned civilian that's prepared, I mean, you put it in there, put it in your truck. You don't need it till you need it. Probably should check on the lubrication every once in a while of the weapon, but you're ready to go.
Yeah, it's quite a bit of capability in a small package. And again, the modularity, the adaptive nature of the system, to me, it's a home run to perfectly pair with your HK SP5 or MP5, or change it out for any of your other weapon systems as well.
Yeah. So just to recap some of the products, from a G-Code perspective, your OSH and XSR, those have been around for a long time. Some of the things that are going to come very soon that you're only going to be able to get from the HK websites, the G-Code Prime Carry for the HK VP9 F and K. Also, the Prime Carry is discussed for the CC9, the Phenom Commando for the CC9, and then I'm using my notes, but I want to be accurate here because we did a lot of work. This has been, I mean, you and I were talking about this before we actually were getting paid at HK and G-Code. We were so excited to team back up again. The Phenom Commando again for the HK VP9, for the VP9 SK, the Shadow Eclipse again for the CC9 and Surefire XSC Bravo. And then as we talked about, the GSM and the GDM G-Code single and double mag carriers. And the ones that we're going to sell, that HK is going to sell from the website, comes in the special color, the black tactical fuzz that James has really proofed for 11, 12 years now in his everyday carry with the gray Kydex. And then where appropriate, the red anodized metal. So we hope that you guys are excited about the product as we are. This has been a neat experience as longtime friends. We've known each other for about 30 years. Yeah. We were talking about family, friends. I've been to Marine Corps balls with him and his wife and my wife. So this has been a neat opportunity, I think, for two Knucklehead Citadel graduates and infantry officers to be able to come together again for this product. But yeah, I'm sure it is the same with HK, but G-Code, we don't necessarily have customers, we have family members, and that's how Scott, our owner, has wanted it all the time. It's the best way to have really good customer services, treat people like you care about them and make products that you would want to carry yourself. I do, you do. And so it's been a great opportunity, and we're going to make sure the marketing teams get together so it's as easy as possible for all the G Code and HK fans to get their HK and G Code products just as quickly as we can get them on the internet.
Yeah.
What do you got next, James?
I can't talk about future products, but we do have lots of things coming to the works, and we've got another one that we'll be working with G Code here this fall on. So again, it's another great relationship. I think we need more of this in the industry, of companies working together instead of in parallel with each other and their products. And for me, not just producing, hey, here's a new gun just because we got to get something out for SHOT Show. But we're always looking for what is the right product solution to meet the needs of our customers, and those needs are constantly changing and adapting. So we love working with a company that can create adaptive product solutions as well.
Yep, and it's fun. Our employees love making especially special products, and then our engineering team loves the challenge, and they will, as you know, quick turn something in days, and then the bureaucracy gets involved, and it just takes us a little bit longer. People got to talk details, and it just takes a little bit longer to get it to market. But we've had a super awesome, fun time doing it, and we're more than happy. Whatever HK USA needs, G Code will be there, and we'll have a great time doing it. And James does a great job. If you ever want to see him at NRA show or SHOT Show or HK Bro events, I don't know how you keep up the travel. I get to sit here at G Code Central in Burgaw and sort of man the op center, so to speak. But you are all over all the time. If you ever have an opportunity to take a shooting class with him, please do it. Very good instruction. And then this is a great shooting little gun. I have really enjoyed my time shooting the CC9. I probably just need to get one. I mean, it is a great shooting little handgun. And for a guy like me with man hands, I was surprised, especially with the mag inserted. It just feels awesome. And it's actually very accurate for a micro compact. I was very surprised. You guys did a bang up job with that.
That's been the consistent feedback from people. And we've done some of our training classes like you saw at that event, where students came straight from a class where they just shot the VP9, and then they come to this next block of instruction on the CC9, and I could hear them, having their discussions, and this was the first time most of them had even handled the CC9, of thinking, well, this isn't going to be as shootable as the VP9. I'm not going to be as effective, or I'm going to have to change, my whole fundamentals of shooting to work around this smaller pistol. And it's just not the case. Guys came away feeling very, very confident with how easy and shootable it was, and still very reliable. And that's the big thing that I've seen of our pistol versus some of the competitor products, where they haven't been reliable, especially if you don't have both hands on a small hand. You're firing, one hand, you don't have the recoil management you need, and the gun doesn't cycle correctly, or the sights are an afterthought, or it's really snappy in its recoil management. It's hard to be as accurate and as fast as you might have been with a bigger pistol. I haven't felt like I'm taking a step back by carrying a smaller gun. And as I mentioned at the beginning of this, that means I'm going to have it all the time. Whereas there have been too many occasions where with the larger pistols, I just make a comfort-based decision and I don't have it when I think I need it.
Yeah, carrying a full-size pistol, especially IWB, we've already covered the fact I'm a little too heavy to do appendix, but that's just a lot, and then it gets hot. But I do want to give you guys credit, and then just a shout. We've talked about it already, but your background as a certified HK armor, you're on their HK Pro training staff, and just watching the journey and being part of the journey with you, I forgot. I mean, this isn't just like come together because we know each other. You've been a G Code fan. You met Scott before. You've actually been to the plant before I even worked here, but you put all this together, and then you've actually tested it through HK Pro events where you are instructing and you're getting direct customer feedback. So I think that's important for HK customers to know, and the HK customers that'll get the G Code holsters. It's not just James saying it or Greg saying it. This has been battle tested, so to speak, or tested as best as we can through a lot of different training. I mean, you probably do at least one a quarter, if not more, training events.
These holsters I got introduced when we were still back in the Marine Corps. We got issued them there when I went to work after I retired with Haley Strategic. We were using the line of G Code holsters there. the one that your guys are rehabbing over there is that thing's been beat up in and out of vehicles, slammed on the ground, rolled around, still going strong. Um, I I just can't say enough good things about the quality of these holsters. And I think we've all been in places, the guys who are watching this probably got a shoebox in your closet full of holsters that you bought over the years. You thought, well, this is the next great thing I've got to have. And here I am going back to the same drawer in my gun cabinet and grabbing the same G code holsters that I use over and over and over again for years and years and years.
I didn't know that you had one getting refurbished, but that's, hey, thanks for the plug. But does that mean James is here? He's a friend of the company, so he can show up and ask guys to fix it. But if you're not able, and we don't really have a storefront, but any of our customers for our holsters is a limited lifetime warranty. So our stuff's not going to break, but it does wear and tear, and I mean it's not titanium. Well, so you can get all that stuff swapped out in case it does.
I guess I
break or
should specify
wear.
when I say refurb, I don't mean that there was anything physically wrong with it. It hasn't broken. It's not worn out at all. It was the original VP9 holster I got when the VP9 came out that wasn't optics ready.
Oh,
So I had them
okay.
do a little scallop cut so
Okay.
I can use that same holster with my new optics ready
even better.
VP9. So
Yeah.
still going strong this this many years after the case. And these are the holsters we're using. You come to our courses. This fail you'll have on our HK website at our training. You're going to start seeing some operator level courses for both handguns and our sub guns. You come to those courses, you'll have the guns, you'll have the holsters, everything's provided for you. So you'll be able to experience both the HK products and the G code products together.
And again, the final plug for your training. I'm not as good a shot as you are. I'm not horrible, but man, I really learned some stuff. The closing your eyes, just that I forget what drill you call that, and then some of the ditties that you do, that was definitely opened my eyes to a different way of training, a different way of shooting, and definitely made me a lot more proficient. So yeah, but I think it's neat to see you finally working for HK, and they're definitely lucky to have you, and they get your wealth of experience, both in the Marine Corps and beyond, in the business development team, so the customers can get the best possible product or combination of products or system of products that they can. And I think again, I've seen it not just work with HK, other handgun companies, because we do have the, I think, luxury of working with a lot of different companies. Is the smarter companies, the better company. I won't say better, that's hard to say, but there's definitely an interest in the industry, and HK is leading the way of putting that system together, because that is a problem. Yeah. It's not just I just paid $600 to $3,000 for a handgun. There's not a holster, and then but where's my light and where's my optics? So you guys have just, I think, knocked it out of the park, packaging that stuff together just to make it easier for customers.
What works with my gun is probably the first thing that we get. And I don't want to just give you you could just go to any other holster company and figure it out. We want to give you the ones that we've actually done some work with and some testing and said, this is where I think it's optimized.
Yeah, as a company that cares about customer service, and it's probably, a lot of people probably wouldn't even think of it as a customer service issue, but I think it is, and it's a way that, I mean, you get high quality product, you have high quality customer service, and then that's going to have customers be repeat customers, which is what any business wants, is to make the customers happy and to keep them in your line with your products, because you obviously believe you got the best one out there.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's hard to disagree with that. Yep. All right. Anything else? We can't talk about new products. You want to talk about any HK Pro events that are coming up?
Yeah. So once a year, we do a special event called HK Pro. It's based off of the HK Pro Forum website that some guys may be familiar with. And it's been an annual gathering of basically the super fans to allow you to come into a controlled area and really have a VIP type experience, to get access to things that you're not going to get otherwise. And we really try and cram as much as we can into a small period of time. So, you could go and take a carbine course anywhere next weekend, but to be able to come and take a rotation of 3 or 4 different classes, all in one area where you transition from one to the next, getting top level instruction from guys who really know H&K stuff, whether they're internal staff members, HK Pro staff members, HK shooting team staff members, We're looking at the next one to do in Columbus, Georgia, where our headquarters is. So access to our headquarters, a tour of our gray room, which
Oh,
is
wow.
our internal
Yeah,
museum, and
I got to
some
get
other.
down there and see it. You show that on your social media pages quite often. Literally, you have just about every gun that HK's ever made in there.
It's a sampling of our products through the years. It's not every one of them, because there's certainly some firearms that are made and developed in Germany that never make it to the U.S. market, whether for LE or military or commercial customers. But we have quite a few samplings from the very earliest guns to the current models. We also have some really rare prototypes that there may be only a handful of those, anywhere in the world. But it's a great reference kind of museum. But what I love most about it is the fact that it is literally, you can pull the guns off the wall, you can mess around with them, you can take pictures and videos, ask questions. It's not, behind the glass. You can't touch that kind of stuff. So it's a great area to come if you're a super H&K fan, or you want to learn more about the products and be able to see everything in one location. That's
So
a neat.
Columbus, Georgia. When did you say?
Haven't set the date
Okay,
yet
haven't said it yet.
on when it's going to be. It'll either be late fall or early spring. But if you're a super fan of that and you're not a member of HK Pro Forum, I'd recommend you go out there, find that website. The notifications for that event will be on there. And then on our website, HK's website, under training, you're going to start to see more and more
Okay.
both armor and operator level courses that are available. So whether you're military or law enforcement customer and you fall into that category, you're a commercial customer, you can sign up for these courses that are either taught at our headquarters in Columbus or in mobile training teams across the country. Come to the class, learn all about the weapons. If it's an armor class, you learn how to take it all the way apart, put it all the way back together, troubleshoot all the different functions and features to maintain those weapons at the user or armor level. And then the operator courses, that's where you show up we, if it's an MP5 course, we hand you the MP5 and the mag pouches and the magazines and the slings and the ammo, and everything's turnkey, and we'll run you through how to operate that weapon. Or if it's a CC9 specific class or an HK45 class, everything will be there, totally HK focused, to allow you to get the maximum potential learning curve out of your specific weapon. So we're excited about expanding that option as well.
Well, that's awesome. I often find myself thinking that I know a little bit, and then I push the gun a little too far, not necessarily past its performance level, but I'll try to put a part on, even if it's like a trigger spring, and I'll just go a little bit too far, get past my knowledge, and then I'm spending a lot of time on the phone with the warranty line because I just didn't know what I was doing. It looked simple. Oh, it's just that, or it's just this. And then I get the gun past its primary operating parts, and then I got to phone a friend. But that's awesome that you guys are doing that. And they can find HK customers can find all that on just Google HK.
Yeah, the HK's website under training. Again, a lot of the things I mentioned aren't posted yet, but will be posted here shortly.
And that'll be all over the U.S. or mostly East Coast?
All over the U.S. And if you're watching this and you're a host location that would like us to come out and teach an armor or operator course, you can contact us through the website as well, and we can set that up. Because we get a lot of requests for guys saying, hey, come to whatever, the Pacific Northwest, and trust me, my motto is have HKs will travel. We just need a suitable host to bring that capability out to you.
I haven't taken your armor course, but I have taken your handgun course, and I know the level of instructor you are. I've known you for 30 years. Your attention to detail is off the chart. So I know that everybody, regardless of what course either you're teaching personally or in your billet, your job that you're ensuring taught is going to be top notch. And again, you got a lot of outside when you weren't in infantry unit, you got a lot of time in training units. So I know you know how to put together training classes. And if you can't be there, I know that anybody that's because I've done a lot of stuff with your guys that may go out and teach in your stead. You guys got a really good staff, and you give really good classes, and you get to shoot a lot. You're getting a lot of instruction, but you also get to shoot a lot. It's not sometimes you stand around and you get more lecture instruction, and then you do shooting instruction. You guys do a great job of mixing that. And I've also seen if you're like the slow one in the group, they're very nice, but if you just happen to be the person that's not as experienced, you always have enough instructors. Yep. Pull them off to the side so they can get one-on-one instruction so it doesn't slow down the rest of the group. And it's been very, very awesome training, and I appreciate that you doing that for me, letting me be part of it at least twice, and I'll try to do some more of that. Okay, so this is about, I think, what we got for the podcast. Obviously, tacticalholsters.com, HK USA, find our products, and James and HK USA has made it super easy for you. So here, pretty soon, you just go to the HK website, and all your needs and your concerns. Obviously, soft goods they won't carry, but your hard goods, your G-code holsters, they'll have on the web store. And you guys are just killing it out there, and good time to be an HK fan. And yeah, okay, we got to do it enough. I only get to see him maybe 3 times a year now. Used to be every day for a couple of years. All right, thanks, James. Yep, appreciate it.